Let's finish up section 2 of chapter 14. We were talking about this phenomenon of non-disjunction and how during meiosis the homologous chromosomes do not always separate correctly during essentially metaphase and then anaphase of meiosis. So you can end up with gametes that can have extra chromosomes or missing chromosomes. So what happens if a normal gamete pairs up with one of these chromosomes? That zygote and then that embryo and child is either they can have an extra chromosome or be lacking a chromosome. And so some examples of that. Trisomy 21. This is otherwise known as Down syndrome. And these individuals have an extra copy of the 21st chromosome. So essentially, from one of their parents, the gamete had 2 copies of the 21st chromosome, and the other parent had 1 copy. So together, when they got together, they ended up with 3 copies of the 21st chromosome. Another example involving the X chromosome, there's a couple, are Turner syndrome. And you notice Turner syndrome, these individuals only have 1 X chromosome. This is also known as, monosomy X, or 1X. No Y, X, so they are phenotypically female, but they are individuals who are sterile. That is, they don't produce viable gametes and can't have kids. And then another example is in males. It's called Klinefelter syndrome, and it's individuals who are XXY. They have an extra copy of the X chromosome. So again, from one parent they might have inherited the Y and the other one 2 X's, or from one an X and a Y and the other just an X. These chromosomes that have extra these gametes that have extra chromosomes are what are sometimes known as unreduced gametes. Okay. Now, for most chromosomes to have an extra or missing means that embryo and that child is not going to make it. They're not viable. So if you have 3 of the number 1 chromosome, that is not a viable embryo. It's relatively rare that you can have an extra chromosome and survive, and having 3 copies of the 21st chromosome is one of those exceptions. And as well with the sex chromosomes, you can be missing one or have an extra one and survive, but again, it has certain ramifications for the phenotype. All right, let's see. I'm going to just have this short video, and then we'll start section 3 on a separate video, okay? And we'll talk about these conditions a bit more in class and the phenotypes and such. Okay.